All right, I want to welcome into the show now. Want to get these guys on right now, so let's go right to them. And they will weigh in on this, Creatures versus Lick It Up today, and we'll get their thoughts. But these guys host a fantastic KISS podcast called the Shout It Out Loudcast, and they also recently released a great book called Raise Your Glasses, which basically goes through every song KISS ever made, and they managed to find people out there that could say something about every friggin' song in the KISS catalog and compiled this huge book, which is such a fun read. It's nearly 600 pages. It's out now. Joining us, the authors of this book, along with my old buddy Joey Casada, who worked on the book as well, and the foreword by Bruce Kulick. Again, the book is called Raise Your Glasses, presented by the Shout It Out Loudcast. And from the book and the podcast, Tom and Zeus join us live now. What's going on, Tom? How are you, buddy?
Hey, Eddie. Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, man, you got it. Zeus, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Pleasure to be here as always, buddy.
So before we talk about your book for a couple minutes, let's get your thoughts on my topic here today on the show, which is we're debating Creatures versus Lick It Up. We'll start with you, Tom. What's your pick and what's your reason for the pick?
Yeah, Eddie, I think I might be in the minority here because to me, this is actually not even close. It's Lick It Up by a mile for me.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know it's controversial because I know the KISS Army out there loves Creatures. It's not a bad record, but if you're comparing these two to me, I just think the tracks, for me, are stronger. I heard you earlier say that the last two tracks, the Gene songs, Dance All Over Your Face and On the Eighth Day, aren't really great. I'm not going to argue with that too much, but I just think it's a stronger record. And one thing that I think that might be kind of against the grain is that I think the sound of Lick It Up is better. I think they toned down that super bombastic Eric Carr drum sound that's on Creatures that people love. I think sometimes it takes away from everything else that you're listening to, whereas on Lick It Up, you can really hear the band. I think it's got some of Gene's greatest demon-type vocals with Not for the Innocent and Young and Wasted. Fits Like a Glove's fantastic. Exciter's a killer opener. Of course, Paul with All Hell's Breaking Loose, 1,000,000 to 1 should have been a hit. Creatures has its songs. I mean, of course, War Machine, I Love It Loud, the title track. But for me, it's always been Lick It Up.
Yeah, I've heard that argument about Creatures for everybody that loves the big drum sound, that maybe it ate up too much space in the mix and all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't feel that way because I love the drums, and it's one of my favorite air drum albums in the world, and I just love everything on it. But I do understand that argument. Zeus, weigh in. What's your thoughts?
All right, so our big joke on our show is Tom thinks Creatures is very overrated. He's always been saying that. I think he ranks it 17, Tom, of all the KISS albums.
It's my 17th ranked KISS studio album.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Pick it up as 8. Here's the difference. I have Creatures as a top 5 KISS album. It's incredible. It's number 5. Lick It Up is number 2 for me. It is incredible. The part of Vinnie Vincent jumping in and helping out with this album is a huge difference maker. And it's one of those what ifs. What if Vinnie could have toned it down and done a couple more albums with KISS? Those three, the combination of Vinnie, Gene, and Paul as songwriters, the songs they came up with between Lick It Up and Creatures, and then eventually Revenge, right? Amazing. I think Lick It Up, the exception of the album cover, which Creatures is legendary. The production, I love Eric's. I'm with you. I love Eric's drums on Creatures. I don't really think there's a bad song on Creatures, with the exception of maybe Keep Me Coming. Lick It Up is just, for me, it's got 3 of the 15 songs in the catalog. Lick It Up, All Hell's Breaking Loose, and 1,000,000 to 1. Incredible songs. Everything is going right for the band. The songwriting, the musicianship, the production. Took that chance. And I love the story behind it. Let's take the makeup off, and here it is. This is our first song. It's called Lick It Up. Changed everything. They put it all on the line, and they were able to carry on because of this album specifically, because Creatures, as good as it is, didn't do anything really for the band helpful. I mean, you know about it. The tour was terrible. Just dumps. It's that really changed it, and because of that, I got to go Lick It Up. It's their best non-makeup album, and it's their second best album in their catalog.
Wow, the second best album in the catalog is a bold statement, but that's a discussion for another time. But I do agree with you that it was a career saver. Lick It Up. If Lick It Up did not hit, we might not be talking about Kiss past Creatures of the Night, because again, I'm a little older than you guys. I worked in a record store.
Yeah.
When I saw this stuff, I lived this when it came out, and people can't begin to imagine how absolutely dead in the water Kiss was with the Creatures album and tour. Even though it was great, it was going to take more than one record for them to recover from the damage they did to the rock base with the previous three records. So, all right, well, guys, I want to shift to your book because it's fantastic. It's out now. It's called Raise Your Glasses. Tom, starting with you, take my audience through this book and the idea for it and the work you put into it, because I imagine it was pretty time-consuming to get all this compiled.
Yeah, Eddie, thanks. And a huge thanks to you for being a huge part of this book, both contributing and taking the time to be a part of it. So we're hugely grateful for that. But yeah, the book, the idea started about 2 years ago, and it just came from the idea of all the great interviews that we're able to do on Shout It Out Loudcast and all the questions and back and forth that we have with these people about, their favorite song, their favorite album. And Zeus and I sat down and we just had this idea. What if we got together and did a book? What if we talked about every single Kiss song that was released, every studio album, and then the original tracks off Alive 2, Killers, Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits, have everybody from all walks of Kiss life, whether they're fans, producers, songwriters, musicians, guitarists, people like yourself and Bruce Kulick and Steve Vai and Mike Portnoy and Chris Jericho, songwriters like Desmond Child and Holly Knight. Every single song is being spoken about, whether through the creation of the song, how much they love the song, what it meant to them as a kid or as a fan now. And we're just real proud of it. Joey, the three of us together, we spent a long time putting this together, and seeing it out there right now for the Kiss Army, it's a real joy for us. And again, a huge shout out to you, Eddie, for all of your contributions. It's incredible.
Well, no, it was cool to be a part of it. And I thought it was a great idea because there's a lot of Kiss books out there. There's one that goes through every concert they've ever done and all of that, but I've never seen one that literally has somebody doing a comment on every song the band ever released. And, Zeus, what was it difficult on certain songs to find somebody to say something good about it? A couple of them?
Yeah. we had a couple of people where we had to say, no, you're supposed to say something nice about these songs. But we let a couple of those jabs stay in there. Some of them were pretty funny, but they had to be with a little bit of, a wink or something. But for the most part, I was always on the thing that a Kiss book, we've read them all. We know the stories. Ace came in 2 different color sneakers. Peter got let go in the 80s. Oh, what happened on the reunion tour? We know these stuff. But the forgotten part about Kiss, which is amazing to me, is the music. And we're not talking about Detroit Rock City, God of Thunder, and Love Gun. We're talking about the stuff that real Kiss fans fight over, like these 2 albums that you were mentioning. So we wanted to hit everything. I've seen people talk about Detroit Rock City. I want somebody to have the balls to say why they like While the City Sleeps.
Right.
Things like that.
Yeah.
And we hit it. We got 5 comments on songs. And we went down the gamut. We have wrestlers, artists, musicians, guitarists, actors, podcasters, you name it, we got it. And I think we have a nice smorgasbord of opinions. So when sometimes you see a book and an author writes about music, it's his opinion. So by album 4, you know what he's thinking like. This is all over the place. You can pick this book up, you can put it down, you can read it wherever you like. And the best thing that we found is most of the people that comment on the book tell us that they love it as a companion piece So they'll put on an album, take the book out, and listen to and read the tracks as they listen to the music. It's been a blessing, and it's been something we're really proud of.
Yeah, and I don't mean this in a negative way at all, but it's a great bathroom book.
Eddie, you are not the first person. Yeah, Eddie, you're not the first person to say that. And for guys like us, and for the listeners of Shout It Out Loudcast, they need a bathroom book.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is it's not like, oh shit, where did I leave off? I mean, you can mark where you left off, but if you want to just go to a certain song and say, hey, what on earth could somebody have said about Fanfare from The Elder? You can find 3 pages.
Comments on it.
You can find
That's
3
right.
pages of that in the book. It's great. I mean, if you're super geek like we are about this stuff, it's gold. It's great stuff. And it's great hearing, people's take on some of this stuff, or whether it's a personal story on what it means to them, or these hot takes, or like, this person's insane saying that. I mean, that's, we love doing that. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now in the middle of this radio show where I'm debating Creatures and Lick It Up. So, as Kiss fans, and what I appreciate about what you guys do so much is that you have those debates. You don't take it all too seriously. You have fun mixing it up. And, this book is part of that too. And I'm sure, Zeus, you guys, or Tom rather, I'll go to you, that you wanted that spirit of the podcast to come through as well, where some of these guests you've had and all these debates you've had about Kiss come through in these songs.
Oh, totally. Yeah, we wanted to have the humor and the laughs and the love and the passion. Like Zeus said, some people may have had some, tongue-in-cheek comments about a song like Dance All Over Your Face. Some people's interpretation of what the song might be. That's the fun part of it. And you have that angle of somebody like a comedian like a Russell Peters, who's a huge Kiss fan, but he's given what he thinks as a fan. And then, like I mentioned earlier, you have somebody like Desmond Child, who's given us some background stories about songs that he wrote with Paul. So you never know what you're going to get when you're picking up the book and go into an album and go into a song. And I just want to quickly piggyback on what Zeus said, that some of our fans and readers of the book are saying, is that it is a great companion. I mean, even though this is a book that Zeus and I put together, we find ourselves doing that too. Put on Lick It Up and then read what people have to say about Young and Wasted. It's a really nice thing to have as a super geeky Kiss fan, like the 3 of us all are, and your listeners, of course, too.
Yeah, when you talk about like having somebody like Desmond Child, who was a co-writer, I had Desmond on this show, and I asked him about I think X and Sex and You Make Me Rock Hard from Smashes.
Yeah.
And I remember he said on the air that in the case of Rock Hard, he said that he was playing it and it was a joke. And he said that Paul heard it and was like, "Oh no, I like that," and ended up making a song out of it. But I think he said he was screwing around with it was like 2 other huge writers like Desmond and like Diane Warren or something. They're like, let's just come up with the most cliche, cheesy, goofy thing. And then Paul walks in, he's like, "Oh no, that's great." That's the story of Kiss right there.
Yeah, Desmond was incredible. He did like 3 or 4 different Zoom calls with us. We got every Desmond Child Kiss song. He commented on it. Holly Knight, the same thing. We had 9 songwriters, 3 original members. But here's one thing that this book, like the absurdity of sometimes of Kiss music and songs. Desmond Child, this world-renowned great songwriter, is talking about the song Bang Bang You. And he mentions that he got it like from Cher's Bang Bang. And then he came up with, Bang Bang You with Paul. And then he brings it to Ricky Martin and gets She Bangs out of it. And you make that connection and you're like, holy shit, from that terrible Kiss song, you got that? And it's all in the book. And it's stories like that. Another great one is Amit Zappa, who is incredibly funny as hell. His comments stand out. They're just hilarious. And you got everything from like comedians like Craig Gass or Courtney Cronin Dole. And you've got musicians like Stevie Vai talking about Joe Lynn Turner, guys that aren't in Kiss or around Kiss, but know the music well enough that they wanted to comment on it. And it's been an incredible experience. And we're looking forward to maybe book 2 will be a little bit different, but we're looking forward to continuing this because we think the Kiss Army needs more fun stuff like this. That's all.
Yeah, and also a quick shout out on the photos that you've got. Like the photos you've put in here are a lot of these people with people in KISS from different eras. Like you've got a photo of me in here from when I was like 18 or 20 and first met Peter Criss or something, but you've got like archival stuff, and it's all these like really cool photos from very recent ones to very old ones of people like meeting and interacting with the various band members. And I thought that was a nice touch too.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that any of the pictures in here were, unique to the book, because it is for the fans and it's by the fans. So, everybody has seen the amazing pictures of the band, all the photo shoots. So, like you said, why not get a picture of Eddie Trunk with Peter Criss? Why not get a picture of Charlie Benante with Paul Stanley? Or, why not get a picture of, some of these superstars when they were 8 years old painting their faces for Halloween, and really make it about the fans and the passion and the love for the band that we all have.
Yeah. Guys, where can people get the book? How can they order it? Zeus, tell everybody the best way to do it.
So you can either go to our website, which should go anyways, shoutitoutloudcast.com, or you can go directly to Amazon. On Amazon, this is one of many Joey's great ideas. Hey, everybody loves shopping at Amazon. Don't make them create other accounts. Go to Amazon, buy it right there. And that's another thing, because he's not here with us today. We do need to give a shout out to Joey, who is a huge part of this book and obviously our third member of this project. And it's actually, the three of us, our hard work paid off. But again, shoutitoutloudcast.com, or go to Amazon, search for Raise Your Glasses book. It's out there. It went to number one on its first week, number one rock book. I cannot believe that on Amazon. It was it was quite a shock. But the KISS Army comes out for products that they love, and they seem to love this.
Yeah, well, it's very, very cool, and congratulations on that. And again, shoutitoutloudcast.com or on Amazon. And hey, here we are, like mid-November. Somebody out there might be looking for a cool gift to give somebody as a Christmas present. This, if you know a KISS fan, this is just so much fun to read. Again, the book is called Raise Your Glasses, a celebration of 50 years of KISS songs by celebrities, musicians, and fans. Tom, Zeus, and as I mentioned, Joey Casada, who there's still very much debate on whether he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I know you guys let up and let him in. Kind of tarnished my inclusion a little bit, but I'll let it go.
Yeah, but you're in the intro class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you got a little bit of bragging rights over him. So,
and be sure to check out their podcast every week. It's a lot of fun. Hey guys, thank you, man. Congrats on the book, and always good to talk to you. And we'll talk again soon. All right,
Eddie. Thanks so much, buddy. Really appreciate it. Take care.
All right. See you guys.